Welcome back to the Daily Rundown. I'm Dan Morfitz. Thank you for watching Channel 7. Now, they say in television, don't work with animals or children. The children have gone off. AJ and Wendy are having a break for a bit. And I'm joined now by Andrew Grantham from Animals Intuition. Andrew, welcome back.
Hello. Nice to be back again, Dan.
You're our resident animal experts. You come in every few weeks bringing us some absolutely wonderful animals that normally might scare people. People might be a bit just wary of.
Yeah. Hopefully we've got something a little bit different, something for everybody as well, which is what we hope to put across. I do visit sort of schools, nurseries, do parties, big events, anywhere across the northwest. So hopefully we're just introducing people into sort of the animal kingdom, hopefully making them feel relaxed. And
with
show them that
hands-on approach.
Yeah, definitely hands-on. Yeah.
If people want to find out about Animals Intuition, we'll just put something up on the screen as well. But
okay.
Let's see some of these beautiful animals. You brought us skinks before, pythons, everything.
Had millipedes.
Yeah,
even the tarantula.
Tarantula.
Which you were very good with.
And that Taylor Swift.
The Taylor Swift scorpion. Yeah.
What have we got today?
Today we've got Kellogg corn snake.
Kellogg corn snake.
Kellogg corn snake, yeah, crunchy nuts at home. But we're going to start with Tom.
Okay.
I've got Tom and Jerry are two of my tree frogs. I'm going to start with Tom tonight. And Tom is quite a common frog, or commonly kept as pets in the UK. He's a whitish tree frog. And in the wild, they are from Australia, New Guinea, normally from north and eastern parts of Australia. One of the bigger species in Australia, sometimes referred to as a green tree frog or an Australian green tree frog. He's about 2 years old. It could grow maybe a couple of times bigger than this. They can reach quite a size.
The size of your hand?
Yeah. So maybe sort of 4 or 5 inches in total when they're finished growing. If you want to hold him, you're going to need a little bit of water on your hands.
He's absolutely gorgeous.
You might be able to get him on one hand.
So these are completely different to the ones that you find at the end of your pond?
Yeah, these are what we call a tree frog. So they spend a lot of time in trees. And if you can notice his toes have got sort of a round sticky pad on the end, which he uses for climbing.
There you go.
And unlike lots of frogs that you might see in the UK, his feet aren't as webbed. So if you look at his front feet, they're sort of a 1/4 webbed. His rear feet maybe 2/3 webbed. So they're quite adaptable to habitat, in fact, in the wild. So as well as being in the trees, they're quite happy to come down from the trees and live in sort of swamps, marshland, in and around water bodies, or, as I say, in the trees, being a tree frog.
And does he make any noise, Tom?
They do. Then they have the big sack under the chin, which opens up. Now, it's not so much of a croak, it's more like a balk sound. So it's kind of like that, and it's really quite loud. There's a couple of times I've been out visiting schools and he started his balking, and you can see everybody go, what's that? What is that? What's making that noise? He is a real frog, so he can jump down. If he does that, just stay nice and still, and we'll catch him again.
He's absolutely gorgeous and glistening.
Yeah. The skin is quite special, actually. First of all, obviously, you can see the nice green colour that he has on there. And that's going to help him to camouflage in the wild. So he's going to live in and around sort of shrubs and trees. That's going to give him a nice camouflage from his predators. They can sit very, very still, very good at musical statues, and that's going to keep him nice and safe. But also, being an amphibian, he uses his skin to help him breathe. So that's why they need the skin to be moist. So in the UK, you usually find frogs and toads living in and around a pond, stream, some kind of water. A lot of tree frogs tend to live in quite warm, damp climates, so that's going to keep the skin nice and wet, and it helps with the gas exchange. So part of their breathing, although they have lungs and they breathe through the nostrils, that skin is going to help them to breathe. So letting oxygen in and letting carbon dioxide out. So it's quite important that we keep his skin nice and moist at home. Have to monitor the humidity, make sure the humidity is raised so that they've got the nice moisture in the air.
So when you're taking him out in schools and colleges and parties and stuff, you take him around in these things?
Yeah, so I've got
where does he live at home?
He's got a much bigger enclosure at home with parts of trees and bark and leaves in, and plenty of room to hop around and move, so that he can hunt for his food as he would in the wild as well. So he eats probably 3-4 crickets a day, fairly good sized ones as well. You put those in there, and then he can.
They're alive.
They're alive. Yeah,
they're alive as well.
They're going to be skitting about in there. He's going to use his eyesight, not particularly great apart from movement, so he can track the movement of the bugs. If the bug, as soon as the bug moves, he's on it. He can use his big back legs to leap across and do like a scooping action with his huge mouth. You can see how his mouth running all the way around here. Or he does have the sticky tongue. Mm-hmm. And he can stick that tongue out, stick the bugs to it, and inside his mouth.
And the best thing about little Tom here, he looks like a classic frog. If you get a kid to draw a frog, they'll draw Tom.
Yeah, they would do, yeah.
Perfectly beautiful and green. Let me give you Tom back for now.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Now, one of the interesting frogs, just while we put them away, is they do have teeth generally. Most species have teeth, whereas toads don't tend to have teeth.
So you can be bitten by a frog?
You could technically be bitten by him, but they tend not to use the teeth for chewing and eating.
Okay, thank you.
They tend to use them for holding on to prey. If there's a particularly feisty bug and it tries to get away, you can clamp down and use those teeth to hold it while he can use his hands then to bat it into his mouth, which is quite a cute thing to see.
That's the one thing that people are going to take away tonight. Frogs have teeth.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Right, coming up next, the best named animal I think we've ever had on the Daily Rundown, Kellogg corn snake.
Kellogg corn snake.
Normally, your kids name your animals.
They do.
They're clever kids if they've named Kellogg.
Yeah, no, that is one of mine.
That's yours,
yeah.
taking credit for that.
And the other corn snake at home is Crunchy Nut. So we have Kellogg corn snake and
Are they
Crunchy
different in colour? Or
they are. This is more of a what they call a normal or a standard corn snake, whereas Crunchy Nut is what they call a ghost corn snake. Not because he's white. It's a bit of a strange thing. They're more of a mix of sort of browns and grey colours, whereas obviously you can see Kellogg is bright orange. So if you just hold him on there, if he does move around a bit, he is quite a nosy snake. I don't know whether you remember Mr. Tickle, the royal python. He's quite a docile snake, not particularly interested in what's going on around him, quite happy to sit, whereas Kellogg here is a little bit more inquisitive. So by nature, he wants to know what's going on around him. He's going to be moving around a little bit, sticking his tongue out, getting those scents and tastes from around him. Maybe go for a little climb. He does like things like bags, sleeves, pockets. Loves to go in and around those. When my little boy used to hold him when he was a bit smaller, he used to go up his sleeves and down his back, come out the back down there.
Kellogg, we're on telly. You show your face, lad.
There we go.
So where would we find corn snakes?
So these are native to southern parts of North America. And as the name suggests, they like to live in and around sort of farms where there's lots of corn. And actually, farmers really like these animals. They do a very good job for the farmers, eating the rodents that would otherwise destroy corn crops. So these little guys, believe it or not, despite that tiny head and body at the top, they will eat sort of quite largish mice. These are what we call jumbo mice now, swallowing them whole like other snakes. So
he will disjoint his whole tiny little jaw.
Yeah, so they're actually joined with a ligament. So rather than sort of dislocate, it's probably more of a stretch, and they stretch the ligament, allow the jaws to open, and take in some pretty big food.
Oh, where's he going?
He's just going around there. Yeah, let's straighten him out there.
Straighten him out, yeah. Oh,
that's it.
He is very interested in everything that's going on.
So he's about fully grown now. He's about 13 years old, so quite old. Corn snakes probably usually going to get captivity about 15 to 20 years out of those. Probably around about fully grown. He's probably not far off sort of 4.5, 5 feet, which they do grow to.
And he's strong. He's so strong.
Interestingly, they're actually a diurnal, what they call a diurnal snake as well. So they're active they're active at daytime rather than at night time. So again, they use their eyes and vision to catch their prey rather than the heat pits as some snakes have.
And is he diurnal because the mice are around at that time?
Yeah, so mice are going to be often out and about, and that's his main diet in America where they come from.
He's absolutely gorgeous. And
they are fantastic.
When you take these around to schools and even where adults are, I bet these are the stunners when the snakes come out.
They do
love
the snakes.
Can be quite scared of them.
They can. And these are a rat snake, but they're non-venomous. But some people.
What snake?
and not, is
I
it
thought you
part-
said rattlesnakes.
Rat snake,
rat
yeah,
snake.
there's a type of snake called a rat snake, and these are a part of that little collection. So no, definitely not a rattlesnake. That wouldn't be a good idea to
I
bring
was
in
just
down
about
out
to go, what have you brought on?
But they
Is
are-
this the last time we were on?
there. They are sometimes confused with what they call a copperhead snake. They are quite venomous. So unfortunately, due to the nature of their appearance, they are sometimes mistaken for those, and people will kill them. Yeah. So it's quite unfortunate, really, that they look like that. But having said that, they are quite a beautiful pattern, beautiful colours. A lot of different variations now due to captive breeding. So people will breed different types of corn snakes, different colours, and now there's a lot of different what they call morphs or variants out there.
So if people want to see you and your fabulous menagerie of animals, I'll hand you back to Kellogg.
Excellent.
What's the best website to get in touch with you again?
So www.animalsintuition.co.uk. Email address is just Andrew at the front, so andrew@animalsintuition.co.uk. And they can contact me through either of those mediums, really.
Well, thank you so much for coming on again. Thank you
you're very
Tom,
welcome.
and thank you for Kellogg as well. That was absolutely magnificent. I love it when you come on because you bring the best
I'm
animals.
so glad you've enjoyed it, Dan, again, and
Thank you so
hopefully
much.
we'll have something new for you next time.
Lovely.
As well.
Nice one. We're going to go to another break now, but please don't go away. I'll be back with Wendy and AJ, each with their something to say next on the TV soapbox that is the Daily Rundown.